What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we're going to be doing a tier list of the best power forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So lads, these are going to be primary power forwards. If I've accidentally put in a primary small forward or center, I do apologize. Basically, there's no setting for just primaries on MTDB, and I can't get the pictures from 2KDB anymore. I'm not sure what ended up happening there, but pictures don't download from 2KDB, so I gotta just do it on myself. If I do miss out on one or two, and I just put one or two in the wrong position, I do apologize. So these should all be primary positions, and yeah, now we're gonna get onto it. So before we get onto it, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to hit 300,000 subs as soon as possible. Huge thank you guys for 280,000 subs, and let's go to Aaron Gordon. Okay, so Aaron Gordon. See, he's below average, but he's, in terms of the best, he's below average, but like he's fine. Like for me, he's better than like a Sekou Doumbouya. I'm actually looking at some of the guys on this list. Man, he could be B. When this is all said and done, this guy could end up on B tier on this list. A lot of weak players. There are a lot of weak players here, but same time, he's good. He's good. He's no flaws. He got half corner specialist. He's gonna dunk the ball. He'll play defense. Aaron Gordon's very, very solid. Then we have got Amari. What am I going? B, C, Amari. Amari's A, B. I'm gonna put Amari in A. Look, Amari is not that good as far as Galaxy Opals go. He's just not. He's not. Like, as far as Opals are, he's one of the weaker ones. But lads, let's just take a look right here. Just take a look at Amari's stats. They're not actually awful. Dude's still got 15 huffs. He's still got a decent height with decent wingspan. Still got 86 speed, 86 acceleration, 85 3 ball, 83 lateral, 85 steal, 90 block. Really solid stat overall. So 80 ball handle. The only problem is, again, big dribble style. But his release isn't even that bad. He's like, there is no way. A lot of people are gonna be like, oh, he's a bum. He's not. He's not good for an opal, and he's by him and Anthony Edwards are the two worst opals by far that came out on Friday, but he's A. AK S. AK is a no-brainer here in S tier. Guys, one of my favorite power forwards in the game. It's a weird one. Like if I was playing like a tournament, there's no question about it, I would start him. One player that I actually love using in terms of in clutch time, I use Bagley over AK. Don't ask me why. I've just been having more success with Bagley. Like, AK is clearly better. I've just been really enjoying that Bagley card. But AK plays lanes. He shoots the ball. Yeah, 98 is not the best release in the world in normal time, but at least you know that once he gets another card and it's on quick time, it's going to be incredible. And the fact that the guy is like 30, 40k MT, well, 40, 50k is just, it's an absolute steal, lads. It's a steal. So he's in S tier. Then we got this Jameson. He stinks. He absolutely stinks. Like, back in the day, people were like, oh, he could kind of do a little bit of everything. Still has Lopez base, but lads, look at what his stats actually were. These are terrible. These are actually terrible. These stats and badges in today's day, like, even back then weren't good. It's just because he didn't have a single, like, absolute weakness, and he came out on the 15th of October. I thought he was ass at the time. I think he's even worse now. He's absolutely ass. But the other Jameson's going A. He really does belong there. He will shoot the 3 ball at a decent rate. He'll play lanes. Again, he's like what people thought the Diamond James was for his time. That's what the Opal Jameson is. I'm glad I didn't lock in for him. For anyone who did lock in for him, I'm sorry. He was about 200k, and I'd say he's worth around 60k in game. But yeah, A tier. And we got Anthony Davis. See, I don't think, is AD better than Gordon? Like, look, obviously for his time he was. Anthony Davis came on the 8th of October. Obviously he was way better on the 8th of October than Gordon ever was. But, like, for now, like, Gordon's got 119 better total stats. I know a lot of them are in, like, speed with ball, but AD's not fast. AD doesn't have rebound chaser with, like, terrible rebounding stats. Even in terms of badges, if you're looking defensive badges, only bronze interceptor, no clamps. I think they're the same tier. I really am. I really do, because obviously that AD was really good for his time, but I mean, he's not really that good now. This AD though is S. This AD is most definitely S tier. I think AK is better. I think AK is quite a bit better in my opinion just from playing. For me, this AD is like a slightly better version of a Josh Smith, but that's just because I haven't liked AD in 2K for quite a while. Obviously, that Galaxy Opal AD at the start of last year, or in the middle of last year, really was that guy. Other than him, I've not been a fan really of ADs in any year in 2K, but he's most definitely S tier. There's no question he's top 5. Then we're going to go Antonio Mcdice. I don't think he's as good as these two guys, but Antonio Mcdice, in my opinion, is better than Anthony Davis, and he's better than Aaron Gordon. I think his defense is at a really, really good rate. He's super, super strong. His jumper leaves a bit to be desired, but from playing him in game, he also backs down people very well. Like, from using him in game, Mcdice plays better than those guys, but again, it's not that big of a difference. Billy Cunningham, look, you're gonna want to play Billy Cunningham a small forward. The guy's 6'6", so he is not tall at all for a power forward, but his player build is alright. He's like, imagine stats-wise, a way better like Blake Griffin. Because again, he's Blake Griffin release. Same release as Blake, he's just lefty. As far as more. No, he is a lefty, but he's basically the same, all the same animation as Blake. He's just smaller. But he's way better stats-wise. So he's a good card, man. He's a good card, especially as just a 3-point shooting cone who can play a little bit of defense. He's not brilliant by any means, but you can definitely get away with using this guy. So I'm going to put him into good old B tier. And we've got Blake Griffin. I think Blake's definitely a step above those two guys. I think he's definitely not A. He's definitely not A. But like, Blake's release is so smooth. Do you remember last year when Blake Griffin, instead of giving Blake Griffin release on quick, they just changed Blake Griffin's release? Blake Griffin used to have one of the worst releases in 2K. And now it's from about 2 months into 2K21, it became so chick. Like, they changed, like when they updated Blake Griffin, they turned Blake Griffin on base faster last year in 2K21, and since then Blake has had a really, really good release in 2K. His defense isn't great. The funny thing is that this card is basically the same as his Pink Diamond last year, and a bunch of people ran his Pink Diamond. There was like 4 or 5 people in 250 last year who ran his Pink Diamond, and 250 was the 19th of February last year, whereas right now Blake is probably not in the top 15 centers in the game. But yeah, not bad. Not a bad card. Really, really not a bad card. So he's going into B. Pettit, I just don't have enough. I don't have the balls to put the guy in worthless. He was so good for me for so long. I genuinely just do not have the balls to put him worthless. Pettit has got 40 something lateral quickness. He's got like 60 something speed. He's so chick. He is so chick. Set Shot 14 is one of the best releases on next gen in this game, in my opinion. Like, I loved Set Shot 14 last year on both gens. It's just obviously you couldn't shoot in the corner on current gen. And I remember when I used to use Invincible Kevin Garnett, and I used to say on next gen, like, look, this is one of the best cards in the game. Because Set Shot 14 is so... Maybe it's just me, I just love Set Shot 14. I love Set Shot 14. Like, in terms of set shots, I heard Set Shot 25 is brilliant. 14's easily the best. Easily the best other one. The only problem is that if you're on current gen, he does step in from the corners. But Pettit, he'll block shots, he's chick. He was one of the best centers in the game in week 1. He was the best popper in the game week 1 anyway. Because he was like the only good popper in the game in week 1, him and Ibaka. But Bull, I go D tier as well. The guy's 7'2" and can move a little bit without the ball in his hands with a decent release. Bull's going to be good this year again. Not going to be last year, Bull good. Because you can't side to side Curry slide spam. Like, that Pink Diamond Bull was in my end game team. Like, he was my end game backup power forward. I still can't believe that. Like, it's Simvular, Taco, Bull, and Danny Ferry was in my freaking end game team. He came, Danny Ferry and Bull, both of those guys from season 6, from like April, were in my end game team. Then we got Boris Dia. I think Dia's at that level of like an Aaron Gordon. Problem is that Dia's got a whole bunch of gold badges and not a lot of half badges. His release is really nice again. Like, it is base 40. He's got the Dame behind the back, which obviously was better at the start of the year. But if you're looking over, like, just all around at Boris Dia, his stats are very good. Like, they're very, very good. They're really well rounded. Like, he kind of reminds me like a way better version of Antoine Jameson. But like 85 plus in everything that matters, and he has a duo with Penny Hardaway, which makes him, not only him better, it makes Penny one of the best point guards in the game. Still, to this day, even with the duo, Penny's one of the best point guards in the game. Without the duo, obviously, Penny's been out, well, a week ago, you might argue he's the best point guard in the game, but he's been outclassed. But no, Diaz going to go C tier. Scalabrine D. Scal's not even that terrible. Scal is a really good shooter. He's a really, really nice shooter. He comes with clamps. He's not that terrible on defense. And he's not that slow. I think his speed's in the 80s. Scal is actually not terrible. I don't think he's as good as Diao, but he's the best player in D tier by a mile. Calvin Nat B. I don't like, a lot of people say, oh yeah, Calvin Nat A tier just because they see Splash use them. Calvin Nat's not actually that good in this game. I just really, really want to I cannot stress that enough. Calvin Nat is okay, but he's not that good. So like with Calvin Nat, you're getting really good speed, but you're getting an okay at best shooter. Base 86 is Miles Bridges' release. You're getting a base dribble style and okay at best shooter. And a guy who he does have every defense about in gold, but they're only on gold. You're getting a decent card, but you're getting a Billy Cunningham level card. A Blake Griffin level card. You're not getting someone that's as good as the Opals so far. Boozer. Oh. Yeah, Boozer's going to go C tier. Boozer's so chick. Boozer is so freaking chick. And again, if Boozer had 80 speed instead of 79 speed, I think people would be higher on this guy. Like, you might be saying, oh, he only has like, what does he have, like 20-something badges, 30 badges, but it's like, okay, what, like, he could do with some more. No Intimidator is a problem, but like, playmaking badges don't matter that much on his popper. Perimeter is low, but his steal is okay with Golden Interceptor. Intimidator is one badge he really needs. And, I mean, he could do a rim as well. But, I mean, that's why he's C tier, isn't it? He's not a perfect card. That's why he's C tier. Charlie Villanueva. He's chick as well. He's overall not great, though. But he can really shoot. I used him for... There was a while I was using him as like a bailout option on my CTO team. Like, if I was struggling, I would literally just... Or one triangle and shoot with Charlie Villanueva. Because it's that mellow base and he's just hard to contest. He's not good though. He just shoots well. Shemezi Metu. I do apologize for mispronouncing it. D. He's actually not. And when you're wondering like why the hell am I putting him D tier? No, look at the guy's stats. I'm being dead serious. I'm saying just look at the guy's stats. You're telling me this? Please do not tell me this guy's a worthless tier player. He's not. He's a D tier player. He is a D. Like this screams D tier. This screams D tier. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my GOAT. You're going down. And Bobo's going down as well. Sorry to my GOAT. You're going down. Chris Bosh. A, but he's not. I don't rate him. I'm not a fan of Chris Bosh. I don't even mind Set Shot 7. I just think he struggles on the defensive end. Like, again, I've tried to use him at power forward. I've tried to use him at center. I just think he was okay. I think he was really okay. Like, in game, I never felt like he was any better than, say, a George Mikan at the center position. But again, I'm incredibly high on George Mikan. So, yeah, anytime we use Bosh, it's A tier. And then I've started even being on accounts with Bosh. And since I've started using like a Cat and a Bagley, so when I was using those guys at power forward, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try out using Bosh at power forward. Nah, it didn't really help. Chris Webber. I mean, I preferred Webber to AD when they both came out. So I'm going to have to put Webber in C tier, aren't I? The only thing is that there's one big kind of factor with Webber is that back then the switch glitch was really easy. There were no tall point guards, so you couldn't X switch everything. What ended up happening was that he has like half post spin technician and half dream shake, so it used to be really, really easy to use Chris Webber and just abuse the other team's point guards on switches. Whereas you can't really do that too much anymore because they just X switch everything. Shumo Kiki. I mean, I don't know. I think I might move him down. Like, he's got decent speed. He's got really good defense, though. And a really good steal. Shooting-wise, he's just meh. So I'm going to move Chumo Kiki down. Down one. But Cliff Robinson? Nah, this is A tier if I've ever seen one. His defense is immaculate. I don't love his jump shot. I find his jump shot is passable. I don't know why I'm like, oh yeah, I love these releases. Like, no, I don't think set shot 3 is an unusable release. I find his jumper more than passable. When he's wide open, I'm very, very confident I can hit pretty much anything with him. I don't think there's really... I think it's an easy release when it's open. It is kind of slow, but his defense makes up for it. Like, there's a reason why he was in my team for as long as he was. He was in my team all the way through Season 3. The only guy... I'm trying to think who came into my team to replace him. Serge and Kristaps, I think, came in to replace him. Like, he lasted longer than Kevin Garnett for me. Dan Issel, again, like, these Opal guys are going, hey, they're all decent. Like, the gap, like, Dan Issel is clearly better than, say, like Griffin. And you might say, oh, yeah, I'm only putting him here because they're Opals. I mean, like, they do come with 15 halves. He's really, really solid. He's really, really solid. Like, his jumper is pretty nice. He's got fundamental dribble style. He's got decent badges and stats. He's an all-around nice player. Then we have got Dennis Rodman. I mean, A. How big is my A tier going to be? Because I want to keep him 5 in S. Like, how big is my A tier going to be? Because these cards are all very difficult to separate. They really are. Like, there's a big gap, I think, between A and B. There's a really big gap between A and B. I might have to move everyone down. I might have to start splitting A tier into 2. I think I might need to split A tier into 2. So, who's going down? You go down, you go down. You go down, you go down. You go down, you go down. You go down. There we go. There we go. It's looking a little bit better. It's still mad putting guys this good in B tier, but like the power forward position is... I'm looking down. This power forward position is so freaking stacked. It's so stacked. Dirk Nowitzki, I mean, if this is what we got in D tier, Dirk's worthless. Like, I normally wouldn't put like a pink diamond card in worthless tier, but looking at what we have in D tier, he's nowhere even close to Carlos Boozer. Like, I think Carlos Boozer is not as good as Blake, but like, he's nowhere even close to Boozer. Dolph's going to go B. Dolph's going to B tier. Dolph's still a really decent player. He shoots the ball really, really well. Base 38 is nice. Jared Sullinger is like a cheap version of him as well. But like Dolph, again, surprisingly still usable in game, and he came out on Halloween. Demantis Sabonis. Like, if I'm putting AD and Weber down in D tier, he's going D tier. You go down one as well. You go down one. I might need to readjust these as well. Screw it. There we go. This looks better. This looks that little bit better. No, let's keep Boozer down here. Then we got Dre. Dre's going to go B. Dre and Dolph are very similar level players. In terms of like in-game ability, I would put them very even. I think obviously there's stuff that one of them does... that one of them will do better than the other. But yeah, I think they're at a very similar level. Like, one's better playmaking, one's a better shooter. One's better on defense. Like, they're kind of even. Mobley, C. No, hell no. Aaron Gordon, get hell up there. Aaron Gordon's way better than Evan Mobley. What am I doing? I forgot to move Aaron Gordon. No, Mobley's gonna go D tier. Again, if I've got Blake and I got Billy Cunningham, Mcdice and C tier, Mobley's D. Mobley really is D. Giannis. We're going this. I'm not even a Giannis fan in this game. I don't like Giannis in this game. I don't know what it is. Like, again, the guy can guard the freaking corner. That's about it. That's about it. Like, he is still a beast on defense. I understand if you're a competitive player that Giannis could be absolutely incredible for you. If you are playing this game competitively, Giannis is going to get you some stops that other players won't. But yeah, this is the worst. Yeah, this is the worst year of Giannis we've seen in a long, long time. Like, Giannis was genuinely the damn best for years. Giannis is just very good this year. I think fully badged up, the 75th might be as good as the Opal, but I don't want to put two of them in S tier. Yeah, that's where he's going. Jamal Mashburn, the monster man. He's gonna go D again. If the guys we have in D, he's D tier. Okay, Jaren Jackson Jr. Oh, sorry, James Worthy. I think Worthy's like high B. I think you can argue Worthy over a lot of these. These guys are so similar standard. So for Jaren Jackson, I'm gonna go C. I think he's better than AD. And I'm gonna go A for this Jaren Jackson Jr. But like these guys all do the same thing. Every one of Jameson, Jameson's kind of a jack of all trades player, but every one of Worthy, Cliff Robinson, Giannis, Jaren Jackson Jr. all do the same thing. I don't know about Worthy though, because there's just something I don't like about him. I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain. There's something I don't like about Worthy. He just never plays good defense for me, and he always sells me, which is weird because I actually don't mind. I didn't mind his Ruby, and I also don't mind Chris Webber's release, and they're the exact same release. So that's the problem with Worthy, is he just sells me. And like again, it is literally preference. You could literally say Worthy's the best player on this list, and I wouldn't argue with you too hard. It's all preference. They all do the same thing. I'm going to move them up because every one of these guys does the exact same thing except for Jameson, who's only slightly different. Jared Vanderbilt. I'm going to see. He's like he's like the Amethyst Giannis. His player model is huge. He plays lanes. His shooting is actually not even that bad. The only problem with Jared Vanderbilt is that he's got 70 stamina. Welcome to Worthless here, Jerry Lucas. You are a trash can. You are an absolute trash can. Okay, who else are we putting in Worthless here? Thad Young, I'm sorry. I don't even hate Thad Young that much. You might think I'm putting him Worthless here. I hate him, but it's like, if I'm putting, like with the guys I have in D tier, I'm not comparing Thad Young to like Charlie. This Larry's gonna go D. This Larry is very, very weak. He is, like, at this stage of the game, he's very weak. I don't actually know why he's on this list. He's not quite worthless, but I mean, he is weak. Okay. Is there any other worthless here players? Or are there any other? Oh, yes, Zion. Jesus Christ, this Zion's terrible. This Zion was a trash can the day he came out. He came out, what was it, like 16th, 17th of October, and he was a trash can then. Him and Tatum came out, and it was like literally just two broken releases out on the same day. An absolute trash can, lads. So, let's keep going then. Ijianian. S. He's either S or A. I don't care where you put him. Put him S, put him A. Makes absolutely no odds. So, again, these are another one of those situations where they're all just preference. Everything is just complete preference. So, he can shoot the ball really, really well. He can dribble the ball at a pretty decent rate. He's 7 foot tall, plays lanes, blocks shots, can play at the 4. I mean, he can kind of play at the 5. Like, it doesn't matter where you're playing him, he's really good. John Collins. I prefer Boozer to John Collins. So if I'm putting John Collins or Boozer in D tier, John Collins in D tier. I think Boozer's just a better version of John Collins. I'm going to low A tier for Josh Smith. A tier for him. I think all around he's a good player. I'm trying to find someone to fit B tier. Serge, maybe? Serge? Reggie Lewis? Or not Reggie Lewis, Rashard Lewis. Rashard Lewis is just different though. That's the problem, is that like he is a sniper. And like if you just need a sniper at the 4, he's literally the best player on this list. Because he's actually a decent defender. Like if you need someone to be a great defender and be a decent shooter, then go for any of these guys in the above tiers. If you need someone to be a decent defender and a great shooter, I mean, Rashard Lewis could be, like, if that's specifically what you need, Rashard Lewis is the best player on this list. Oh, this is a tough one, like. And this A, B, like, the gap between B and C is so big. It's actually so big. Karl Malone. High D. He's not bad. He's really not bad, but he's D tier. Kevin Garnett, B tier. Like, again, all of these guys in A tier I prefer over Kevin Garnett. I much prefer over Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett has not been in my squad in a long time. Josh Smith, way better. Cliff Robinson, for me, way better. Rodman, better. James Worthy, Jameson. Like, these guys are all quite a bit better than Kevin Garnett. You can still use the guy. Like, I have a diamond contract on him, so I still just occasionally use him because I don't have a diamond contract on Porzingis, just to get easy games in. But he's just fine. He's just fine at this stage in the game. He's a little bit outdated. He's not bad at all. Again, he's still way ahead of all these guys at C tier. Honestly, there should just be a gap between C and D tier. Kevin Love, C. I don't rate Kevin Love at all. Screw it. Screw it. I'm moving Boozer up. I'm moving Boozer up a tier. I much prefer Boozer. I much prefer Boozer to Kevin Love. Kevin Love is a little better dunker. Speed-wise, he does a +5 speed on Boozer. Boozer, for me, is a way better shooter. Having used both of them, if I preferred Kevin Love, I would say I prefer Kevin Love, but I don't. I prefer Boozer, so Boozer's going to go C tier. Then we got Lamar Odom. He's so bad. He's so bad. Like, obviously, we have there's a good Lamar Odom. There's, in fact, a really good Lamar Odom that we had in our small forward tier list. Like, I genuinely think in this game, Lamar Odom has potential to be one of the better players. Like, as the year goes on, I think Lamar Odom has potential to be one of the better players. But my God, this Lamar Odom stinks. He's absolutely worthless, and there is no player that fits this bum tier more than Lamar Odom. He might be the worst player on this list. Even he might be worse than Zion and Dirk. He's terrible. Aldrich. Aldrich is C. Aldrich, again, he's like a better version of Boozer and Kevin Love. Like, Aldrich is not that bad. It's just that, like, with the guys we got on Friday, your people probably aren't that hyped on him. Like, look, 84 speed, 84 acceleration, decent driving dunk, overall good defense, that's interceptor. Obviously, he doesn't come with clamps, but he's a really, really nice shooter. Like, let's compare him to Love. Let's compare him to Kevin Love. Like, he's got 152 more total stats. He's a slightly worse shooter. He's slightly slower. Dunk-wise, -10, I guess. Release-wise, I think they're probably the same. He's got way better badges. And you can add badges. Now, Aldrich, he's not B. These guys in B tier are way better. He's one of the best players. He might be the best player in C tier. He really might be the best player in C tier. Now, Larry Bird, I'm going to say Pink Diamond Larry is worse for Shard Lewis, so I'm going to go high C. He's another decent player that's going to go in C tier. There's a lot of usable guys in this middle tier. It's just that if I combine these two guys into A tier, you better believe like A tier would be huge because there are more players that belong in that A tier. I got Larry Johnson. I don't think he's very good. I'm putting him in D. I've used Larry Johnson a bit. I'm putting him in D. Give me Evan Mobley over Larry Johnson. Like, if that's our like selling point, give me Evan Mobley over him. Now, there's always a controversial pick on a DBG tier list, and the controversial pick is that Marvin Bagley's B tier. I've used Bagley. I've used Aldridge. They're both cheap players. I much prefer Bagley. I've used like Bagley. The way Bagley plays lanes is really good, and the fact that, again, I know it's not in unlimited or it's not in comp settings and stuff, but like, again, clutch time's a more played game mode than unlimited, and I prefer using Bagley to AK in clutch time. So to put him in C tier would just be going against, well, what I'm actually doing myself. So then we got Maurice Lucas. Maurice Lucas going A. He's going A. He's got a 73 ball, but he's going to play lanes really, really well. He's going to shoot the ball at a decent rate because of his release, which is Draymond release. That's one of the better releases. When you're at, say, when you have a lower rated three-pointer, you want the release to be you don't want it super slow, but you want it to be one of the not super fast, and you want it to have a big green window, and that's what base 12 is, a really easy release to green. His dunking's really good. He's got Pro 3 behind the back. He's got the shifty dribble style. So yeah, you're looking at one of the best power forward / centers in the game. I'm trying to, do any of these guys my guess? I know who I'm putting in S tier. Oh, I'm sorry, Ty. You can see the rest of this list. If anyone knows me, they know who I'm personally putting in S tier. Miles Bridges, he's 6'6", Where's Calvin Knapp? He's not quite as good as Calvin Knapp. I'm going to put him in C tier. He's not great, though. I didn't even like using this guy for his challenges. Like 91 speed, no defense. Nah, get down into tier. Get down into D tier, Miles Bridges. You're 6'6" as well. Give me Mobley over him. Obi Toppin, however, he's low C tier. Obi Toppin does everything well, and he can kind of shoot the ball as well. He's a decent defender. He's gonna be fast. He's gonna move well to the ball. He's gonna dunk on people. Like Obi Toppin is a really solid player. He's C tier. Siakam, A. I really like Siakam. I know some people don't like Siakam. I think it might be because of how skinny his player model is. But I think, again, Siakam's three-point shooting is more than solid. His defense is immaculate. He plays the corners well. He's one player that will probably come into my squad. I think I'm probably, as much as I do think AK is the better player, I don't play this game competitively. Once I get Siakam, I'm already going to sell AK and move Siakam to my power forward position. But a really, really nice player. Can play at the 4. I wish he could play at the 3 instead of the 5. His secondary position is a little bit annoying, but if you want to play him at the 5, be my guest. He's going to get mashed, but I mean, he's still going to get a lot of steals. Paul Silas, B. Paul Silas is a clone of Maurice Lucas, but he's just smaller. He's still got all those like interceptor, all the defensive badges. He's smaller, but is a slightly better three-pointer. But yeah, I think if I can't put, like, Lucas is better. I can't put more than one tier between Lucas and Silas. Rocco was a good budget player for his time. He's D tier, but he really was a good budget player for his time. And now, lads, the moment of truth. My last S tier player is Rudy Gay. Like, I said it at Christmas. I preferred Rudy Gay. I mean, I did say it at Christmas. I preferred Rudy Gay to Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James, and I still stand by that. Maybe not purely at the power forward position. Maybe like Rudy Gay, for me, is best to be used at the small forward position. But at the same time, I'm taking Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay is still one of my favorite players in the game. I think he's very, like, he's like a small forward Terry, or he's not a small forward. He's like a bigger Terry Dishinger type player. Like, he's got a huge player model. He dunks on everybody. His behind the back's great. His dribble sigs are good. He's a great shooter. It's one of my favorite cards in the game. I still kind of, again, I don't use the guy enough, so I sold him. I sold him literally for a video, so I could say I sold him to buy Lamar Odom. But still, he's S for me. Scotty Barnes, D. Broken release. Genuinely broken release. Other than that, he's alright though. Serge is B. Serge Ibaka is B tier. So he's like, again, he's a poor man's Anthony Davis. That's really it. He's a poor man's Anthony Davis. He's AD, but he does everything slightly worse. Stromos Swift is going to go high C. I know some people are going to be like, oh no, I hyped up in the video, Stromos Swift should be B. I agree, for an Amethyst, Stromos Swift is exceptional. I think Bagley's slightly better than him, but you can probably say he's the second best Amethyst power forward in the game. He's a point center. He's got really good dribble sigs. He's got dunk on people. Problem is, he's not the greatest shooter in the world. His stamina is not the greatest, and in game he's very good. He's just not Maurice Lucas or any of those guys, or even a Paul Silas. Then we've got Terry Cummings. I mean, he's just meh, isn't he? He's really just meh. I think it's hard to argue him as anything other than C tier, which again, the tier is basically just meh. Tim Duncan, low B. Low B. I think there's a gap between him and Kevin Garnett. I don't like Tim Duncan. I know a lot of people do like Tim Duncan, so I'll give him B tier, but I don't really like the card. Zebo, high C. If Zebo had a better, Zebo's release isn't even that bad, but I know it is quite slow. If he had a better release, he'd be fine. Like, he is mash man. You can literally just bully people down, start mashing and score. Like, you can actually, like, in fairness, that's pretty much how Zach Randolph played. Bullying people, throwing up a couple of pump fakes, and then just taking a layup. I'm pretty sure the guy didn't dunk for like the second half of his NBA career. But like, yeah, he's going there. And Zion Williamson, D tier. I don't care that you're an opal, you stink. These other opals are all not terrible. Zion is genuinely terrible. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. This is the tier list of the best power forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.